Guys, I have a quick video for you today. I just came across something interesting. So the other day I went to a coffee shop with my buddy and we went to order coffee. Obviously, we wanted to sit down. So when I looked around, there was nowhere to sit simply because there were so many people that were doing work on their laptops or their notebooks, whatever you want to call it. I mean, let's be honest here. We both know that you're not doing actual productive work. So you took 15 minutes to get ready. You took another 15 minutes to commute there. You went inside the coffee shop, sat down, plugged in your laptop. Maybe you found the outlet, and afterwards you got to order coffee. So you get up, stand in line for a few minutes, order a coffee, and then afterwards, they bring it out for you. Great, awesome. And you're sitting down, you're starting to read what it is that you have to do. So most of all this happens with students. And I mean, I can see that you're not even focused. You're looking around at people coming in and out. Worst of all, if you're with your friend, you're talking to your friend while having coffee. So now it turns into a coffee date with your friend instead of doing actual work. And after about half an hour, guess what happens? The coffee kicks in, so you have to get up and take a piss. So now you go and do that, and you've broken the smallest amount of chance you had to get into an actual workflow. And you end up talking to your buddy, talking about doing the work, talking about doing the homework, and before you know it, you actually put your headphones in, you go on your phone, you get distracted because you scroll for half an hour, and then of course, you end up finding the right song you also want to listen to, and you begin work. You put your name on the sheet, maybe you start with a title, you even put the date on there. And would you look at that? It's been 2 hours. Now it's time to go eat. Now it's time to wrap up and go home. Maybe it's time for bed. Whatever it is, and you walk out of there having done absolutely nothing. Now the funny thing is, why do I know this so well? Is because I used to be that person doing that. So now don't get me wrong, if that's your thing, absolutely, it doesn't matter to me. It's just funny to look at that and understand that it's this weird culture of people wanting to seem like they're doing the work, but chances are nothing actually productive is getting done. So here's a little story for you guys. Back when I was in uni, I used to do a very similar thing with my friend. So we used to work on a social media page that we were running at the time. And what would happen is we'd get together, we'd meet at a coffee shop, something like a Starbucks. And we'd come in there and we wouldn't want to be like the rest of the people. So what that meant was we're actually going to get work done. We'd come in, we wouldn't even order any coffee. We'd sit down, plug in our computers, plug in our laptops into the wall, to the outlets, and this seemed like a great idea. Why? Because we always wanted to hang out right after, and so we thought, let's get together, we're gonna get our work done, and then we're gonna hang out. Sounds like a plan. And to be honest, we did get some things done. It's not like it was unproductive, but it definitely could have been a lot more productive and time efficient. So it turns out when I was trying to do the work, think of all the distractions you have. That's the biggest issue with working in a public space. So other than the fact that you have people walking in and out all the time, a bunch of people talking around you, let's say you're wearing headphones, great, that's not a distraction for you. Let's take a look at another thing. There are people walking around with their food, with their coffees. Now you start thinking, hey, do I want to get a coffee? While at the same time, you have your friend sitting next to you that maybe you thought of something funny, so you have to tell them the joke, or you maybe saw a meme because you were on your phone. Now, back in the day, I used to be a lot more degenerate, meaning I had all my notifications on, I had all my, social media apps, and I would get continuous notifications popping up every couple minutes. So of course, every time that happens, that goes off, you pull out your phone, you look at it, you put it down. So while all of that is going on, you're trying to focus on the work you're doing, and every small distraction immediately breaks your flow. So first off, when you're working in a public space, there's absolutely no flow. It just doesn't happen. You can try to isolate yourself, then you might as well just stay home. Now, once I realized that it was not very productive, I started pulling back on it, meaning some days I would just be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to finish this quickly at home, which really there's only about half an hour of work, unless you're doing some big project or you're doing something for school, sure. But whatever it is that you were going to do inside of a coffee shop, it's going to take half as long to do it at home by yourself without any distractions, even if you want to work with one of your buddies. And it turns out we ended up cutting out the entire coffee shop experience that was completely useless, and we realized it's just going to be a lot more effective to get things done back at home and then go and hang out. Very few people can actually pull it off, and chances are it's probably not you. Because these people aren't sitting on social media. They're not watching videos. They have a great attention span. They're not having their phone buzz every 24 seconds. They're disciplined individuals that probably get to the coffee shop at like 6 a.m. where nobody's coming in and it's actually peaceful. And the only person inside the building at the same time is the barista who makes the actual coffee. And at that point, this type of person plugs in their headphones, all their playlists already loaded, and they just start working away. They get into an instant flow, it's not disrupted, and as soon as it gets busy, they leave. They leave to do something else, they're probably done with their work, and they move on with their day. You know, this is just a quick observation. It's become very popular these days. For so many people, it's more about being there and showing others that you're a productive human being. You're out there with your laptop, you're having coffee, and you're doing your work. Because if you actually wanted to get work done and you didn't care about what others are gonna think of you, you would just do it at home. Telling yourself that no, you're actually there because of the environment and you like the public space and you like to see other people doing things and it makes you feel productive, actually ask yourself, are you just coping? Because this actually doesn't help anybody. Distractions don't actually make you more productive. You're just there to show others that you're doing work. And if that's you watching this and I've offended you, take some humility. I mean, I used to be the same type of person. There's nothing wrong with that. But just be honest to yourself. Don't lie to yourself and say you're actually being productive when you know for a fact you're not. That's it for now. Keep yourself productive. Do the actual work instead of pretending like you're doing it, and you'll get a lot more done.